Okay. So, let's talk ovaries tonight. Did you know your ovaries do way more than just ovulate? Do you know that they don't just release eggs? Do you struggle with PCOS? Do you have irregular cycles? Stubborn weight? Riley? Ooh, that dog. Then this is the live for you. Let's talk ovaries, hormones, insulin resistance, and how GLP meds actually change the game. Your ovaries are two little small almond-shaped organs that live on either side of your uterus. They are listed as part of your reproductive system, but their role goes far beyond baby making. They do three main things. The one is obvious. They release the eggs every month. That is called ovulation. But they also produce hormones, mainly estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Did you know that females have testosterone? And did you know it's very important for females to have testosterone? The third thing they do is they help regulate your menstrual cycle and impact everything from mood to bone health. So they are important. Hi, Alpha. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome in. So if the ovaries get disrupted, if they are off just a little bit, you feel off. You just don't feel right when the ovaries are off. So what helps the ovaries stay healthy? There's daily habits, nutrients, lifestyle factors that protect and nourish the ovaries. You can have a nutrient-dense diet with healthy fats, omega-3s from fish, flax seeds, walnuts. They all support hormone production in the ovaries. Antioxidants. There's a superfood that is full of antioxidants. Does anyone know what it is? Blueberries! Blueberries for the win! Yes! Blueberries! Blueberries are the fullest for antioxidants for how little they are. Amy had blueberries today. I know, Jamie, I was so busy today. I thought about it even. And leafy greens are full of antioxidants. Not as much as the blueberries, though. And turmeric. All of these reduce oxidate, I can't say that word, stress on the ovarian tissue. Lean proteins. A lot of the organs have been asking for lean proteins. So lean proteins, again, are going to be chicken with the skin off, tofu, Greek yogurt, and eggs. They support hormone balance and blood sugars. Complex carbs. Quinoa, lentils, and sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes do have a higher glycemic index, so you want those in moderation. The complex carbs will steady your insulin, so you don't get spikes and valleys, spikes and valleys. You can take some supplements if needed. Supplements that you can add in would be vitamin D, people in America are chronically low in vitamin D. A lot of us work inside. We work in offices. We're not outside soaking up the sun. And that's where we usually get our vitamin D from, is the sun. There's not a lot of foods that have vitamin D. It's added to milk. It's added to some other foods. But there's no foods that have it naturally, really. So vitamin D helps hormone signaling. Some other supplements that you can add in: zinc, B vitamins, and magnesium. We like the magnesiums. All of those support the ovary and the ovum health. The ovum is the egg inside the ovary. So you can also make the ovaries happy by having a balanced lifestyle. Regular movement, strength training, walking, or yoga improve insulin sensitivity and ovulation. Now you notice on there, there's no high cardiac. Remember that high cardiac activities will make you build muscle. They don't help you lose weight. So when you get your heart above 120 beats per minute, you are building muscle, you are holding on to calories. Below 120, you are shedding calories. Okay. Strength training like bands and weights, you're not getting your heart up there either. You're stretching your muscles, you're stressing your muscles without getting your heart rate up. Okay? Stress management. High cortisol throws off ovarian function. Our enemy is cortisol. Cortisol, it is so bad for everything in your body. We needed cortisol when we used to fight dinosaurs, when we used to have to fight for the cave that we lived in. We don't need cortisol that much anymore. How often do you have to run from danger or turn around and decide to fight it? I don't remember the last time I had to run from danger. And that's what cortisol is there for. It is there to help you run from danger or turn around and fight. So to lower your cortisol levels, you are going to do, this says deep breathing and mindfulness. I say intentional breathing. In through the nose, hold for 10. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Hold for 10. Out through the mouth. And that lowers your cortisol. Lowers your cortisol, relaxes you better, lowers your heart rate, lowers your stress, lowers all the effects that cortisol has on your body. The next one is another one of our 5 goals. Consistent sleep. I always say 6 to 8 hours uninterrupted sleep. All the research for the ovaries said 7 to 9 hours. Will support hormone regulation in the ovaries. I'm just reporting what it says. Metabolic support really helps the kidneys, especially in a PCOS patient. You want to have stable blood sugars for your kidneys. Stable blood sugars will reduce excess insulin, which otherwise will overstimulate the ovaries to produce androgens, like testosterone. Another thing that helps support the kidneys is GLP medications. It was actually in 3 out of the 6 articles that I pulled up. I thought that was great. I was very impressed by that. Hi, William. So GLP medications for ovarian health help reduce insulin resistance, support ovulation, and reduce inflammation. I love that. So what hurts the ovaries? Thank you for the heart me. Welcome. We are talking about ovaries today, William. These factors contribute to inflammation, hormone disruption, or direct ovarian damage over time. Thank you, Persephone. Poor dietary choices. High sugars, refined sugars. Oh, there's a flash goal. 3 gifters send a heart me. Oh, I bet everyone has sent their heart me. Let's see if this account has. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. So, pin error. Oh, we already got it. Okay. It wouldn't let me pin it because we've already got it. So high sugar, refined sugars, and artificial sugars. They cause insulin spikes, they worsen PCOS, and they disrupt ovulation. Did you know all of that? I did not. I did not know that it disrupted ovulation. No clue. Excess seed oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil. They're high in omega-6, which is linked to inflammation in the body. Another thing that I did not know. Thank you for the goats. Did you know that? Hi, Jamie. Ultra-processed foods. They're often filled with additives, trans fats, and estrogen disrupting chemicals. Not good for the ovaries. So what are we staying away from? Sugars, artificial sugars, seed oils, and processed foods. I think that's very doable. Endocrine disruptors are chemicals that interfere with hormone function and can damage the ovarian cells. BPA, which is found in plastics and some canned food linings. And you know, if you leave like a plastic bottle in the sun in your car, the BPA leaches into the water. Have you heard that? That's why you don't leave plastic bottles in your car to soak in the sun and then you drink from them. The phthalates. found in fragranced products like lotions and some plastics. I didn't know some plastics had a smell to them. Thank you for lighting up my gift gallery, Persephone. You rock. Hi, Raven. Hi, Mrs. Wright. The next thing that's dangerous for the ovaries, pesticides or non-organic products. Try to wash your produce or buy organic whenever possible. Some lifestyle stressors that hurt the ovaries are chronic stress. We already talked about how to de-stress with intentional breathing. They called it mindful breathing. I think intentional breathing and mindful breathing are the same thing. I was reading what mindful breathing is, and it just said deep breath, hold your breath, and then let it out. It didn't say for how long. I do a count of 10. I do in through the nose, out through the mouth. They didn't say any of that. They just said take a deep breath in and hold it. I think intentional breathing is just more detailed. Poor sleep increases insulin resistance. You need your sleep. You need your sleep. You have got to have your sleep. 6 to 8 hours uninterrupted sleep every night. If you wake up, you keep your eyes closed and you go into intentional breathing. Alpha, can you move your water more to the morning and don't drink as much at night? It doesn't matter. Do you take a water pill? Or that's just the way your kidneys work. In the morning you take a water pill, so your kidneys just work good. That's okay. That's okay. Just do your best to not wake up very much when you get up to go to the bathroom. And then lay back down, go right back to sleep. Environmental and medical factors. The one they always say. Smoking and alcohol. We knew they were going to say it. They say it for every organ. They can raise estrogen and disrupt the cycles. Certain medications like chemotherapy or long-term hormonal contraceptives. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what is PCOS. Why do PCOS and the ovaries go hand in hand? Christy, I do 100 ounces of water every day. But you do watch your urine. If it's too pale, you back off on the water. If it's too bright, you drink more water. You have over 200 pounds to lose, but side effects scare you. Any side effects that you would, could, or maybe might get are manageable with over-the-counter remedies. So if you get nauseous, you smell an alcohol wipe, you eat, stomach settle drops. If you're constipated, you take a stool softener. If you have diarrhea, you take Imodium. Anything that you would take before the medication, you take while you're taking the medication. It's all the same. So, are you more afraid of having a heart attack and passing away from being obese, being this person here that had a cholesterol of over 300, or dealing with a little bit of nausea and being this person here almost 100 pounds later and having a cholesterol of 132? Are you more afraid of being this person and having elevated blood pressure through the roof on medication, or being this person here that had a little bit of constipation that I've had to deal with, but I'm 100 pounds lighter, almost 100 pounds lighter, and my blood pressure is normal? This person couldn't get on the floor and play with their grandbabies. This person does. This person couldn't walk up the stairs. This person does. This person had an A1C of 11.4. This person is down to 5.2. There are so many things that obesity can lead to. Did you know obesity is the highest risk factor in 13 types of cancer? 13. Did you know this medication is not a carcinogen? So which do you want to be at risk for 13 types of cancer, or do you want to take a medication that may make you nauseated and constipated? I'm okay with nausea and constipation. We are here every night at 6 p.m. Central to help support your journey, help you with side effects, and help get you through this. We help each other. We hold people up. When you are ready to throw in the towel, we push you through it. And we get you there on this journey. That was cool. Your cholesterol was high and you came off all the meds except Manjaro. Right, Christina? That was so pretty. Oh, my notes timed out there. All right. PCOS. Let's talk a little bit about PCOS. PCOS and the ovaries go hand in hand, so I couldn't talk about one without the other. They're too interlinked to do one without the other. PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Despite the name, not everybody that has PCOS gets cysts. Yes, I will, Jamie. I am at max dose, Bull God. It's a hormonal disorder that affects millions and millions of women. The main symptoms include irregular or missing periods, acne, thank you for the heart me, excess facial hair, ovarian cysts sometimes, weight gain, and difficulty reproducing. But here's the kicker. PCOS is not just a reproductive disorder. It is also a metabolic disorder. A lot of the times it is treated just as reproductive. It's just the OB-GYN that treats you. Why? She's not treating the whole disease. And nobody else is treating the metabolic portion of the PCOS. It's just left hanging out there. So PCOS is deeply connected to insulin resistance. Studies have shown that up to 75% of people with PCOS have insulin resistance, even if they are not overweight. Insulin resistance means that your body does not respond well to insulin, causing the pancreas to make more insulin, and that high insulin triggers more testosterone from the ovaries, which disrupts ovulation, causing weight gain and inflammation in your body. If you ever felt like you're doing everything right and you're still gaining weight, insulin resistance is probably the reason why. How do GLP-1 medications affect the ovaries? GLP-1s don't target the ovaries directly. So I kind of debated on whether or not to do this organ. But with PCOS being treated so heavily by Mounjaro, and with there being so many Mounjaro babies out there, you're on 10 milligram. First time you're having some issues. What issues are you having, Bogad? With there being so many Mounjaro babies with PCOS girls, I really thought that ovaries had to be covered. So GLPs do help the ovaries in a major way, just in a roundabout way. They don't target it directly. Nausea and indigestion. Okay, so you might have been moved up a little quick. That's okay. Your choices are you can go back down, Bull God. If you don't want to do that, you can up your protein, up your electrolytes, eat smaller meals. It's so pretty. Eat smaller meals. Make sure that you're eating more frequent meals. Get some Upspring Stomach Settle Drops. This is my favorite flavor because not only do they have the ginger, peppermint, and lemon, but they also have the B6. So they really help with nausea and really attack that nausea, but smaller meals will help with the indigestion. Okay, so really try to shrink those meals down as much as you can. Okay, so how do you think GLP-1s help the ovaries in a roundabout way? They reduce insulin resistance, the root of PCOS symptoms. They help regulate blood sugars and inflammation. They promote weight loss, which rebalances the hormones. They restore ovulation, and they improve fertility markers and cycle regularity. So for someone that's been struggling with having a baby, like Rachel, she had tried so hard with her husband. They had done, my answer to everything is blueberries. They had done so many IVFs. They had tried everything. They had spent so much money trying. And all she had to do was take Mounjaro and get her PCOS under control. And then, poof, Mounjaro baby. And that was the first one I knew of. I'm sure there was other ones first, but that was the first one I knew of. But there was Rachel, Mandy, Ashley, Candace, Allie. There are so many of our OGs that are having Mounjaro babies. I meant, have you been nauseous ever since you went up to 10? Yes, you have. Okay. So really small meals. You need peppermint or lemon. Peppermint, ginger, lemon, those type of things. Candace is having it 28th. She's getting induced. Allie is getting induced the 2nd. Yes, Bull God, it will ease. Really go down in the size of your meals, honey. It did go by fast, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Have your sugars been behaving? Oh no, what are they doing? Oh, Lisa. Oh, honey. So even though they are not marketed for PCOS, GLP meds are showing real promise in people who are insulin resistant and have PCOS. They're going to put you on insulin. Oh, sweetie. I'm sorry. You'll rock it though. It'll be fine. You got this. You'll be fine. You'll kick insulin's butt. So how about a PCOS friendly shopping list? You want to build a plate that supports blood sugar, hormone health, and inflammation reduction. 8, not just the one? Oh, Lisa. So let's start with fruits. Lisa. Ouch. We want low glycemic fruits that won't spike the insulin. What kind of fruits do you think you want? What's the first fruit we're going to say? Blueberries! Blueberries, strawberries, apple, kiwi, and grapefruit are the ones that they have on the list here. Vegetables. You want high fiber and antioxidant vegetables. It's going to be spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, and zucchini. You missed your blueberry cue. Protein. You want proteins to stabilize the blood sugar. So it's going to be lean protein like chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, salmon, tuna, lean beef, and tofu. I don't think I've ever cooked tofu. I bet Jamie's cooked with tofu. You had lima beans for dinner. I love beans. They told you no peanut butter. You have not, but boy Jamie, yes, I saw boy Jamie come in. Tofu is good. It takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it with. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry. For healthy fats, you want, Tammy, what's the first healthy fat? Yes, avocado. It's avocados because you have one every day, Tammy. We switched from olive oil to avocado oil, yes. But olive oil is number 2 on the list. Chia seeds, nuts, and flaxseed. Complex carbs that you can have: quinoa, lentils, brown rice. Extras that you can include: we switched from olive oil to avocado. Thank you so much. Yes. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point. Were you burning your food? Can I add pretzels to that list? No. Extras that you can add: cinnamon for blood sugar support, apple cider vinegar because it tastes nasty, and herbal teas. Try to limit processed sugars, refined carbs, seed oil like corn and canola, and excess dairy. I know. Apple cider vinegar, ew. When Harley would sear the steaks on high, they would smoke more. Yeah. So is anyone in here, does anyone in here have PCOS? Okay, Lisa, have you noticed any difference since being on GLP or Pris? Or Tammy with your cycles? Or has your skin changed at all, your facial skin? You no longer have symptoms. Yay! Good. You never need to be checked out for it. Exactly. Well, everyone, just remember, you're not broken. We are not broken. PCOS is very complex. Oh, look. PCOS is very complex, but you deserve a provider that sees the full picture. Not only the reproductive portion, but also the metabolic portion. You deserve treatment options that work with your body, not against your body. Right? GLP meds are giving so many people with PCOS a second chance. People like Rachel, she was what, 43 and got pregnant? Had her dream baby. Never thought she'd be able to get pregnant. And she did it naturally. She had been through so many IVFs and had so many spontaneous miscarries. You know, she just was mentally exhausted. And when she started Mounjaro, her cycles came back and evened out. And she was like, what the what? What's this? And did a little research, and somebody was saying, because she was one of the OGs, she was one of the first of the first. He is the cutest. And did a little research and found out that it could possibly help PCOS also. And now she has a beautiful baby boy. And now she's got a little more weight to lose. She'll go back on the journey with us. You're so happy to be a grandma, I bet. Tied them tubes in 2008. Tappity tap, where's my tappers at? Menopause. We forgot menopause. Let's discuss menopause. Is Jamie still in here? Okay. So, Jamie asked about menopause. Okay, Tam. What happens to the ovaries during menopause? We know ovulation stops. Throughout the reproductive years, the ovaries release the ovum, the egg, roughly once a month. Ovulation starts to become irregular during menopause. That is called the transition phase. They dry up like prunes. Eventually, the ovulation stops completely, which means no more periods. This is due to the depletion of the ovarian follicles, the little sacs that contain the eggs. So what about the hormones that were coming out of those ovaries? Remember we said the ovaries don't just produce eggs. They're not just for baby making. They also produce estrogen and testosterone, right? And we need those two hormones. So what happens? Your ovaries are the main producers of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. During menopause, they produce slightly less of those hormones. The hormone drop because they're producing slightly less, produces the symptoms of hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, mood swings, sleep issues, bone thinning like osteoporosis, and changes in hair and skin. So those are mainly the changes with progesterone and estrogen. The changes with the testosterone are going to be libido, muscle mass, and energy. Testosterone seems to drop more slowly than the estrogen and progesterone. Menopause is a natural Yes, because your your testosterone is going down, you're losing libido. So menopause is a natural ovarian shutdown. Think of it like this. Your ovaries are winding down after decades of hard work. By the time menopause is official, 12 solid months with no period. And even if you go 11 and then spot, they don't count it. You have to go 12 solid months, no period. So by the time menopause is official, your ovaries have released their last egg, dramatically reduced hormone output, and stopped preparing your body for reproduction. It's increased since on Manjaro. So post-menopausal health. Even after menopause, ovaries still matter. They continue to produce small amounts of hormones, especially testosterone, which is the one for libido and energy. They're still vulnerable to cysts and tumors. They can shrink, which is normal. 10-year younger boyfriend. I know, you're robbing the cradle, woman. GLPs don't affect the ovaries directly, but they can help with menopause-related issues. GLPs help with the weight gain that you usually get during menopause. GLPs help with the increased insulin resistance that you usually get during perimenopause. GLPs help with the metabolic shutdown that you usually get during menopause. And GLPs help with the inflammation that you get during menopause. So, are there any other questions about what happens when you go through menopause with your ovaries? Lisa, me too. I went through menopause at 28. I was much better equipped to deal with hot flashes and everything else when I was 28 than now. Let me ask. Right. Menopause is a moment, not a stretch of time. Menopause is officially diagnosed the moment that you have had 12 months with no period. That moment marks the end of your reproductive years. The process that surrounds menopause is what actually lasts years. And that's where people get tripped up. What you're actually feeling is perimenopause. Okay, let's get technical. Sorry, my friend here's getting all technical. Perimenopause is the transition phase leading up to menopause, and it can last, drum roll please, we would love for you to try out our brand. Oh, whatever. 4 to 10 years. Yes, it really says 4 to 10 years. No, not for me. During perimenopause, hormones fluctuate like a roller coaster. Periods will become irregular. Hot flashes and night sweats begin. Mood changes, brain fog, weight gain, and sleep disturbances all appear and disappear over years. Again, not for me. Postmenopausal is the moment of menopause until you're laid to rest. There are symptoms for some people postmenopausal. Some of those symptoms are hot flashes, vaginal dryness, mood, and memory changes. Sounds like the perimenopausal symptoms. For many, these symptoms ease over time, but they can linger for 5 to 10 years. So if you get the short end of the stick, you're going 10 years with both. You could be in peri and post for 20 years. So, peri, hormones fluctuate, symptoms begin. Meno is when the actual moment that your periods have officially stopped 12 months, sorry. Post is hormones stay lower and symptoms taper. Think of menopause like a birthday. It's one day. Perimenopause is the whole chaos party leading up to it. The whole chaos of, I have to order the cake, I have to get a dress, I have to get shoes, I have to do this, I have to get chairs, I have to get napkins. Oh my gosh, did we call Uncle Bill? That is peri. But menopause is the actual party, the actual day of the party. I asked, do GLPs affect menopause? And it came back, yes, GLPs do affect menopause, but not directly. They don't change your hormone level, but they do influence many of the symptoms and challenges that come with menopause. Let's break it down. GLP medications mimic a hormone in your body that your body naturally makes. That hormone regulates blood sugar, slows digestion, reduces appetite, and lowers inflammation. Hi, Kaylee. Menopause is a hormonal storm. During menopause, perimenopause, and postmenopause, you lose estrogen and progesterone, which causes insulin resistance to rise, weight to shift to belly, metabolism to slow down, hot flashes, brain fog, fatigue, changes in mood, and sleep. How GLPs may help with menopausal symptoms. Insulin resistance support. Menopause increases insulin resistance. GLPs reduce it. So this can help stabilize weight, especially around the abdomen. Weight management. Menopause-related weight gain is stubborn. GLP-1s decrease the appetite, help manage cravings, and may make weight loss possible where nothing else worked during menopause. Inflammation reduction. That's when you gained most of your weight. Estrogen has anti-inflammatory effects. When it drops, inflammation rises. GLPs help lower systematic inflammation, which may ease brain fog, fatigue, and joint pain. It is exhausting, but you got your movement in and found your yasso bars. Good. Heart health. Menopause raises the risk of heart disease. Who knew that? GLPs lower your blood pressure, improve your cholesterol, and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events. What GLPs don't do during menopause: they do not replace estrogen or fix vaginal dryness, hot flashes, or low libido directly. They will not regulate your periods directly. They will not be a substitute for hormone replacement therapy. They are a complement to hormone replacement therapy, not a replacement for it. GLPs aren't menopausal meds, but they indirectly help so many of the problems women face in perimenopause and beyond. Weight gain, insulin resistance, GLPs hit all of that. For some women, GLPs are the missing link in their menopausal lives.